Good morning, everyone. It's Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up, and it is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024 at 10 a.m. So it is time for coffee and cards. If you are here, give me a shout out. Sorry, there's all kinds of messages popping up. I'm like, what is happening? It's a technological nightmare this morning. Something posted on my Facebook that was probably confusing because it said I wouldn't be live until noon today on one of my pages, and on the other, or my group, and then on my page it said I would be live at 10, which of course is accurate because here we are. Hey Linda, hey Debbie, good morning everyone. Yeah, that's bizarre, and the only reason I even saw that erroneous post on my page was when I opened my phone to log into Zoom, it popped up, and I'm like, what? Well, why is that there? So I don't know. I'll have to go back and see if I can figure out why my group said I'd be live at noon and my Facebook page said I'd be live at 10, but here we are. Okay, so let's jump in this morning. It's early for some of you, I know. I got about 5 hours of sleep last night. That's good for me. But I do have my coffee because, it's coffee and cards, so you got to have your coffee here. Here are, and it's a new month. Yay, how exciting, right? Lots of things happening in July. These are my July Just cards. And if you follow me, you know that I do a monthly card class that can be yours for free when you place a minimum $35 product order on my website using that month's host code. So for July, the host code is right here for you. There's my website. You get the 5-card class with envelopes absolutely free. They are designed that really you're adding greetings. Die cutting is done for you, embossing is done for you, but you just have to stamp and add greetings. So if you don't have the greetings I used, you can substitute something that you have if you're long distance and the kits are being mailed to you. We do ask for $4 to help cover the postage. If you're local, there is a class the second Wednesday of the month. This would be in August because this is this month's class. So we would be doing this class the second Wednesday in August at 3 p.m. here at my house. And yeah, you can come and join us and make the cards. So the class is completely free with a $45 minimum product order. When you hit $60 in your order, you're also going to earn the embellishments, which are the opal rounds this month. And you can see them scattered across a few of the cards. Actually, I think they all have them on. So that's how you get the Just cards. If you just want to purchase the class outright, it's $20. Again, there would be $4 postage to assist in getting those to you. What else is happening in July? Well, let me tell you. So today's the 2nd, tomorrow's the 3rd. This kicks off tomorrow. Hey, hi, Carol. Looks like you had a good time. Hi to both Carols. Good to see you both. So tomorrow we kick off bonus days. And if you've been around with Stamping Up for a little while, you know that bonus days mean for every $50 in product that you order during the month of July, and that would include your $60 qualifying order for the Just Cards and Embellishments class, you will receive a $5 coupon that you can then turn around and redeem on an order in August. So that's pretty nice. It's like a 10% discount that you're going to get to redeem later in the following month. So remember, that starts July 3rd, runs through the end of the month. Don't try to put an order in today because it will not qualify. Okay. And then the other thing that happens tomorrow is we have new online exclusives. There's so much coming. I cannot tell you how much is coming because it's just a lot. So we're going to have some Christmas out there. We're going to have some fall, some Halloween, some everyday. There's new embellishments. I think there's some new ribbon. Don't hold me to that one, but I'm pretty sure there's some new ribbon. It's going to be a great launch. You're definitely going to want to check it out. You go to the online exclusive section. There's a category in the store, in the Stampin' Up store. You can access it through my website if you want to. And check out all those new goodies that are coming. You're going to fall in love with a few. I guarantee it, because I sure did. And we're going to play with some of those throughout this month. I'm also planning some events in July. Some of my lives will be featuring some Christmas cards. You saw that I had a Christmas card in the Just Cards. Even though we'll be making that in July, we'll be making that in August. We're still celebrating Christmas in July with that card. And this is a sneak peek. That's greeting from one of the new sets, as well as the designer series paper is from a new pack of 6x6 paper. I also will have my creativity delivered class being announced next week, and that's going to be Christmas cards. And I may even be doing a Christmas stamp a stack. So stay tuned for more information on those items. But I like to get my Christmas cards started early, and I'll bet some of you do as well, right? Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to cover before we start stamping is we did last month's Just Cards in our last live together. It's been a little rocky for the last month. I'm hoping that I'm back and my eye seems to be a little more stable this morning, so that's good. But I'm giving away these beautiful, whoops, look, you just saw the name, the beautiful textured dots, metallic textured dots. And the winner of these is Deborah Mackey. So Deborah, congratulations. I am going to put these in the mail to you, my friend. And thank you so much for watching and commenting and giving me a thumbs up. All right, so today I've been on a masculine kick. It's kind of crazy. But I have. So we're going to play with the Loveliest Tree. Now, you can absolutely make all kinds of cards with this. I feel like the cards that I created for today's event is more masculine. They're more masculine cards, but this is a throwback, if you will, or a remembrance of. If you've been around, you know that for a very long time, we had a set called Lovely as a Tree, right? And if you don't know the backstory to that stamp, it stayed around for a really long time, probably the longest running stamp set in the catalog. That was created in honor of, I believe it was Shelley's aunt. And so at one time they had said that set would never retire. Well, all good things must come to an end. And so it did retire. But this year we have introduced Loveliest Tree, which I want to believe is an honor back to that particular relative. So we're going to play with this. I've got 3 great cards to share with you. I realized as I was putting the kits together, I designed these cards 2 months ago before everything happened with my site. So I'm a little rocky, but I did put them together last night, and I realized 2 of the cards I used very similar, different layouts, different technique, but very similar. So we're going to start with this one. Wood grain paper, of course, with Loveliest as a Tree is a given, right? So that's what we're going to start with. But do you know where that wood grain paper came from? Because everybody's going to think country woods, right? Did you know that there is a wood grain pattern in the 2 Market paper? And it's a pretty cool pattern, as you can see. And then on the other side, we have this pretty field of flowers, which it kills me to cover that up because I do like that particular one. But we are going to use this as our backdrop for our tree. And we're going to mount it to a layer of early espresso. Oops. What the heck? Hold, please. Something has attached itself to my adhesive. There we go. That was interesting. So yeah, 2 Market paper. I think I've shared that one, if not here, over on my Facebook page. It's got some really cool patterns in it, even if you're not into the whole farmer's market environment, although they're so much fun. But this one I really called to me when I was creating with this product, with this particular bundle. So this is just simple layering. And I know this will not show up on camera, but this has also got a wood grain pattern on it. It is debossed into the cardstock. So unfortunately, if you try running an ink pad over it or brayering over it, you don't get that cool effect so much. And then the back is perfectly flat. So if you got into a jam and you needed, just a plain old piece of white, you could use it for that as well. But it's kind of cool. And again, perfect for this backdrop. So we're going to mount that to a layer of early espresso. I think this was one of the first stamps I bought out of the new catalog, simply because we're always looking for masculine, right? And this one seemed to hit the bill very well. But as I said, you could use this for all kinds of cards, not just masculine. All right. Then we are going to get that beautiful tree stamp. And I'm going to stamp that in early espresso onto a regular piece of basic white. Fortunately, this is going to be die cut because I sure did not hit that paper straight on. And the colors that I used, that's not even in frame, is it? There we go. The colors that I used were pecan pie, to color the trunk, and to color the branches that go up into the tree, right? So it adds a little bit more depth when you hit those with your blend. This is light pecan pie. And that is pretty much all of that. And then I use the old olive. So I did color so that I left some white space in amongst the tree because, you know, that's more natural, I think. This old olive is dying, as you can hear. If your old olive, or if your blends, not just your old olive, if your blends are squeaking when you color with them, that is a great indicator that it is time to place an order and replace that particular duo of color. I do miss the fact that we can't just order individually because I don't know about you, but there are lots of colors that I use the lighter or the darker more often. And then I end up, you know, with 3 of whatever I'm not using and constantly buying new so that I can get the color that I am using. All right, so I'm not going to sit here and painfully color this for you because I did it free, just in case I had a problem seeing. So it's a beautiful tree. I die cut that out, and we're simply going to mount that onto that wood grain paper. I relate sitting and watching someone color an image in on a live with watching paint dry, right? Okay, so we have a stitched, sorry, my voice is, I haven't talked to anybody yet this morning. Stylish Shapes, stitched die, banner die here. And I'm going to use the Happy Birthday from the Loveliest Tree stamp set. And we're going to see if we can do this straight. And we did. It's a good day. So do you guys have this set yet that are watching? Or even if you're watching the replay, do you have this set? We're going to overlap that just a little bit down here in the corner. And I'm trying to, yes, I did put it on with dimensionals. So I'm going to grab those out of my drawer. How's Nova Scotia, Debbie? And then, oh, I did not grab my sequin. So this little sequin down here, sorry, is from the Natural Sequins. So I didn't grab those, but I did grab our birds. And I didn't even look to see if these are still available in the online store. So hopefully they are. We have the dragonflies and the birds. And we're just going to put a few of these in the sky. And goes back in their sleeve. Uh-oh. Let me grab a piece of basic white from the inside of that card. And we're going to stamp our greeting in there. And the greeting I'm going to use on the inside is hoping you have the best day ever. Of course, it's from the Country Birdhouse stamp set. Pop that on there. And then I'm going to do, using the Mossy Meadow, a little leaf in the corner. And that would be a great stamp to put on the envelope of your card as well. Right? Down in the corner on the front or on the flap. Because we always like to decorate our envelopes. Guess what Lori did? I thought it was going so well. How many of you have done this? Now, I have a girlfriend. She's in one of my stamp clubs. If she did this, she would send this to her brother. She does that. Uh-oh. Okay. Let's fix that. Anybody else ever do that? There we go. And of course, I laid this down after it had the adhesive on it. That was not bright either. We're going to get all the boo-boos out of the way here on the first card. And it's going to be smooth sailing. All right, there we go. So quick and easy, just need this little neutral embellishment down there, but a great masculine birthday card, right? A lot like Vermont with more water. Cool. Nothing wrong with more water, unless it's, you know, a flood or something. Then we don't want more water. All right, I'm going to clean these stamps up quick, and then we're going to move on to the second project. So this time I'm going to play with the dies. So here are the dies that you get with this particular bundle. And we're going to create this project. We've got a little embossed background there with some ink drug on it. And then we just did that and accented it with that same designer series paper on the inside. Timber is our folder, and I'm using Very Vanilla. I don't know about you guys, but I don't use Very Vanilla often. Do you? Is it something that you reach for? I do in the fall. Don't ask me why. That makes a difference, the season of the year. I run this through my embossing machine. But rest of the year, I really am not. I'm a basic white. Or now I love basic beige. You guys tried basic beige yet? So are you a whisper? Oh, there, that's a throwback. Are you a basic white, a basic beige, or a very vanilla? I'm curious. I like to know if I'm just the only one that's like, yeah. All right, so you can see from my folder, it looks really dirty, doesn't it? Well, that's because I have put ink in this folder and run it through, and it will add the ink to my embossed image. I didn't want quite as much as that would give me this time. So instead, I just took the paper, and then I took my ink pad, and I just kind of lightly drug over. Oh, that's not the best there, but that's okay. We can make it work. And I'm not too worried about the center because really it's going to be covered up. All right, so we're going to leave that like that. So the trick there is do not hit your cardstock with the beginning of the ink pad. Always drag separately. But I think with everything that's going on here, we won't really notice those. We're going to take a piece. Again, this is to market. Apparently that was my go-to paper when I was creating with this. See, this is going to cover that up very nicely for us. But I love how just dragging your ink over it pulls out the detail of the wood, right? And no two pieces will ever come out the same. It's okay with me. Hey, Carol, good to see you. You guys are quiet this morning. So here's a fun little story, kind of. My life is crazy, as most of you that follow me know, and it always is. The same. I'm going to go ahead and do the inside. You forgot about basic beige. Oh, I really like the basic beige. That's very cool. I was wondering when they announced it what it was going to be like, but I really do like it. So we're going to use pecan pie. And this is a kind of a thinking of you card, right? But again, this could be for a female or a male. I'm going to grab my silicone pad because this is kind of skinny. So yeah, so my family, so it's crazy. And my nephew and his fiance are coming in for the 4th. And they're actually going to stay with us. And we're going to be in Gettysburg on the 4th. So we were going to go to this relatively new restaurant in the area. And I called to make sure, because it is the 4th, that they were going to be open. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, great. So I've got 9 people lined up to go to this restaurant on the 4th. You know where I'm going, right? Last night, I'm sitting, after I was done setting up for today, I'm sitting down just for a few minutes, because it is after midnight, to scroll through my phone and see what I might have missed in the several hours I was offline. And they have posted, this restaurant has posted that they're going to be closed on the 4th to let their employees celebrate with the families and everyone be safe, which is a lovely concept. However, you are in Gettysburg, the anniversary of the Gettysburg Battle for the Civil War, when the town is packed. So we're like, okay, you're a relatively new restaurant. I respect the decision, but come on. And I'm like, and I literally just called to confirm. So now I'm scrambling. Anybody got good, quick, easy picnic type recipes? Because I have no time to cook. I am literally booked solid the next couple of days, and the 4th was it. And I'm like, hey, this is the solution. We'll just go to the restaurant. There's one other restaurant in the area that I thought about, and I checked this morning, and I don't know. They're either not open or they're booked because they only take reservations. And that date and tomorrow, as a matter of fact, were not available. So we are using our blending brush here to add our blue sky in with some balmy blue. So yeah, what am I going to do with 9 people? And 2 of them were extremely finicky eaters. As a matter of fact, I called them or texted them to find out what they would like when they were here, and I got nothing. Okay. Hey, Julie, good to see you. So help a girl out. What can I make quick and easy? We're gonna add some garden green at the bottom to go with our tree tops and our plaid paper. Good. Let's get that off our finger before we put it onto the card. Anybody got any great recipes, picnicky recipes. Okay, now where are our treats? Here are our treats. So I did go ahead and put two of them together. And, you know, I'm always the girl that has the great hindsight that, oh, shoot, I probably should have put adhesive sheet on the back of at least the top, the tree top, but I did not. So we're going to do our best to mount this, and it always happens to me. I don't know if my husband uses it to repair something or what. My fine tip glue bottle always disappears. I think I'm going to buy a pack of 10. And then how can I possibly have 10 bottles disappear, right? So now we're going to play with the actual combo in its natural form, if you will. And actually, let's put it on here. I think this will work better. Just add a little bit of Tombow. If you like the fine tip glue, that would work too. I find that not to be my friend often. That should be enough. Then we're just going to mount this on here like so. Well, I do know my nephew likes pasta salad, so I do have that on my list. And I did send my husband to the grocery store yesterday to get hamburgers. I just did Memorial Day, and we did sausage, hot sausage, and fried chicken. So I'm like, oh, I don't really want to do that again. My brother's having people over Friday night that are in town for hot dogs. So I'm like, well, that might not be 2 days in a row. Chicken salad, that's not a bad idea. I can buy that. Normally I would make it, but this might call for buying. I will probably make the pasta salad because I know he likes the one I do. So yeah. Hopefully your 4th is going to be much more relaxing. My husband said, though, however, if I wasn't running at 60 miles an hour with my hair on fire, I wouldn't know how to react. I did say to him, I'd like to find out. But it's all right. We'll get through it. We always do. And then we're just going to drop that one a little bit lower to give us some interest in our skyline, if you will. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I also thought about sliders. I used to make sliders. I haven't made those in a long time. And they're pretty quick and easy. Not a lot of work involved in that. I'm also cooking not in my kitchen, so that'll be fun. I will learn what I need down at the nest. Because, yeah, that will be interesting. I do like those tree dyes, though. And I think you could even incorporate them with Grassy Grove and In the Grove bundles, right? I thought for a minute I did it again. And I did cheat, guys, just because it was so thin and so tiny. I did pre-stamp this for fear I would not be able to see it and hit it. So, going to mount that to a tiny little strip of pecan pie. And that's going to pop up on dimensionals as well. And that greeting comes from Comforting Thoughts. This is a really nice stamp set with a lot of great greetings. That's where the wishing you comfort came from, as well as the healing peace and rest. We're here for you. You can do this. You're not alone. There's no good card for this. So I think we can all think of reasons we would want to have that. All right. This would be a good strip for the mini dimensionals, but I don't know that I even have those. I just never used them. So I think when I used them up, I just replaced with all the larger ones. And then again, those birds came in very handy. So let's just go ahead and add one on here. Remember, I have that rule where all my embellishments go in, for the most part, unless I'm doing like on the ends of a tag or something, in odd numbers. So we did 3 on the last one. We're just going to do 1 on here. And that is our second card. What do you think? All right. Let me find my desk, because it's amazing how quickly my desk becomes cluttered. Anybody else have that problem? We have a 6-foot table and I end up working in a space that's about that big, right? I'm betting you can relate. All right, we're going to move this one off and we're going to bring in our last one. So this one, if you do, again, follow me, you will know that this is one of my favorite techniques to do, and it's easy. We're going to do a fall card because, you know, why not? It's blazing hot. Let's think cooler temperatures. All right, so I am using the Country Woods Designer Series paper on this project. And we've got a base of crumb cake with a layer of cherry cobbler and then that particular pattern from the Country Woods. I'm feeling like we're missing a lot of ribbon options right now. I'm hoping the mini catalog, when it arrives in our mailboxes, we're going to see we've got some additional ribbons and embellishments. So whenever I don't have ribbon, I resort to just using a piece of cardstock. Across the back there. And why are you doing that? There we go. Okay, so now we are going to, I'm like, okay, I literally remember putting these in the box. Have you guys, anybody have the larger size of the embossing folders yet? Look at the size of this thing. This is like 8 3/8 by 6. So almost 8.5 by 6 piece that you could emboss in here. It's huge. This is going to be great for scrapbooking. If you're a scrapbooker and you want a little accent in your background, look how nice this would work out. You could even cut your picture in a circle like I did here, because we're going to cut this with a die then after we, or before we emboss it, we're going to cut it with one of the Spotlight and Nature dies. So we have 4 sizes of embossing folders right now. We have this big guy. We have the 6 by 6. We have the regular for card front size. And then we have the minis that are about 1/2 to 2/3 of a card front size, that fit through the mini embossing machine. So we can't beat that, right? We got all kinds of options for embossing. This was a surprise. I don't know about anybody else, but when I ordered that particular stamp or that particular embossing folder, I was shocked when the box came and I pulled it out because I did not realize, and I don't really think it said anywhere that it was a larger embossing piece. So that was a surprise. So we're going to go back to the stylish shapes. I'm using that same die as I used on the first card. Apparently I really liked that die when I was working with it. And I'm going to do my die cutting over here real quick. Bang. So have you guys played with the new embossing folder, the larger size? And if so, what did you think of it? There's a couple of them. There's this one. There's the one that has kind of the swirly background. I cannot remember what it's called. Maybe it's called Swirl. I'm not sure right now. All right, so there's our circle. There's our label, and that is now goodbye. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to strategically place this inside here so that I get as symmetrical an embossed image as I can. And that looks pretty good to me. And this is a 3D folder, so we're just going to put it in with our specialty plate and our platform. Look how cool that looks. And that is going to be the backdrop for our tree. Be careful when you're adding adhesive, especially if you're using seal, to your project after you've embossed it. You definitely don't want to tear. So swirly. That's it. Thank you. Definitely don't want to tear that. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my happy birthday here as well so that I can get that mounted before I lose those pieces. Not that I would ever do such a thing. On my perfectly clean workstation, right? Okay, that looks crooked to me, but hopefully it's not to you. There we go. So if you watched my creativity delivered live and or video, this one's going much better, don't you think? I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just gonna pop that right in the center. We'll put our embellishments on at the end. This is definitely not centered though. Let's see if I can fix that a little bit. There we go. Okay, now the fun. Oh, good. I'm glad you like the cards. That's awesome. All right, so I stamped this tree. There it is. I'm like, I just had it. I'm going to stamp the tree in Old Olive. Well, I'm going to ink the tree in Old Olive. Let's start there. That's going to be our base. And I know I caught an edge, but I'm not going to worry because I feel like we're going to die cut it anyway. And then I have a whole bunch of Stampin' Write markers. These are the Stampin' Write markers. These are the water-based markers. These are not the alcohol, not the blends, okay? So you do have reasons to need both. This technique is called thumping. Again, if you watch me, especially in the fall, you've probably seen me do this technique before. But what we're going to do is working our way from our lightest to darkest colors. We're going to thump onto the tree with our marker. And we're going to use the brush tip. So did you know there's two little lines here? One's the thin tip and one's the brush tip. And all you do is like a drumstick. Now, you want to make sure you have good markers, that they're not dried up. And truthfully, I have not tried doing this technique on with the new tips. And this, okay, so that was crushed curry. This is berry burst. There's no rhyme or reason where it hits. Obviously, it's very loose in my hand, like a drumstick. Okay. Pumpkin pie. Some of these colors will come through more bold than the others. The cherry cobbler really comes through. Some of it's just more subtle. Your eye almost can't distinguish it, but it's there. I do scribble the tips off after I've done this just to make sure that color doesn't bleed into the barrel of the marker. And then a little bit of mossy meadow for a little more depth. And then cherry cobbler. Okay. And then I'm going to use a blender pen and I'm going to take the color off the trunk because, you know, we stamped the base. The base color was the old olive, right? So take your blender pen, remove all that color. I'm not going up into the tree for this scenario, but I want to get that color off. Scribble your blender pen so you get the early or the old olive out of it. And then this is early espresso. And I'm going to come back in and just add the trunk back in. And the other thing I'm going to do, just because I know I didn't hit down here, we're just going to add a little color in the grass where the leaves would be laying. Okay. Then I'm going to breathe on it. So while I was doing the thumping, if any of that ink dried, the moisture from my breath should reactivate it. How many of you have seen me or someone else or you yourself have done the thumping technique? Oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? See the colors in the tree? Hopefully it shows up on camera. That came out really, really nice. Okay. So we're going to die cut that, and then we're going to finish our last card. So I'll get a little more room on my table. I don't know. There we go. I'm like, this is a fairly easy stamp to line up. Why am I having difficulties? And I'm going to grab some Post-it note tape just to make sure it doesn't slip and slide on. But this is such a fun technique. It's great for fall, but you can do it all year round, right? Think about how you could apply this with other colors. Birthday cards with really pretty backgrounds. All different colors scattered throughout it. And it's an easy technique. The trick really is breathing on it before you stamp it. Because again, that's how that ink that may have dried, like put the old olive base on there a while before we actually then went to stamp it, right? Oh, just pops, right? Hey, Melanie. The large folders are awesome. I think I have the swirly. I know I bought it, but I might have used it as a team prize at one of our meetings. So I'm going to try to sneak this one in right there. And if I do it at the right angle, I should be able to get away with it. There we go. That definitely looks like a early fall tree with some of those vibrant colors coming through. And you can see how the trunk then with the early espresso just pops off of there as well. Okay, apparently I'm having a crooked issue here now. There we go. Okay, and then for the inside of our card, I just did a simple enjoy your day. So these are great masculine cards. Again, they don't have to be, but so often we struggle to come up with masculine ideas. And we'll use the early espresso to stamp our inside greeting. Okay. We could put that little leaf in there as well. And if I knew which box it was residing in, maybe it's over here. Nope. Yep, there it is. We'll go ahead and stamp that in the old olive that we use for the tree base. I could have thumped that as well. A little bit smaller target to hit, right? But we absolutely could have. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. I don't know if we've got construction in the neighborhood going on, but I keep hearing a beep, beep, beep. And then on this one, the final touch is going to be adding some of the adhesive backed swirl dots. These are from the Latte Love suite of products. And they're really cool. For some reason, I keep reaching for them lately. I don't know why. Go through that. I have phases where I fall in love with something, or it seems like that's the thing I need on every project to finish it off. At least with that embellishment for today. Okay, so there we go. This one has a little bit more cherry cobbler in it, but I can see some pumpkin through here, and it's really cool. Cool technique, easy to do. And we love those, right? We love the cool techniques that are easy to do. And then here is the other card. And there is the one that we did with the dies. Oh, thanks, Carol. I'm glad you like them. You never heard of thumping. Oh, my goodness. I've been doing that for a long time. There's a lot of, I just put the other card away, didn't I? There's a lot of other techniques that you can do with your markers. Actually, I was thinking about that the other day. I was thinking I should reintroduce some of those because it's been a while. But, well, I'm glad you got to see me in action doing that and give it a try. I think you'll really like it. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I really appreciate it. Please make sure to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. All of that helps me, as well as leaving comments either during or after the live. I'm so appreciative of all of you, and I enjoy every time we get together to stamp and hang out. I will be live Sunday night at 8 over on my Facebook page, and then back here next Tuesday with another coffee and cards to share with you all. Be safe. Have a wonderful holiday, and I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.